New comic book day this week was a little different. It's an extra week in the month, and it was full of annuals. It was full of a little of this, a little full of a little of that. Kind of like what I call stocking stuffers, right? Stuff to just get in there. So I don't know if these books would have normally made it in my top three. Maybe, maybe not. But let's see what did this week. Now, coming in at number 3 is Justice Society of America #1. Now, I gotta admit, and I gotta say it again. This is the first time I'm reading Justice Society of America, so I'm not totally familiar with all of the characters and things like that. But honestly, for me, what this book was the story. The familiarity with the characters, all of that stuff will come. Not too worried about that. But the story I thought was pretty awesome. And I mean, when Jeff Johns, he has written some classics. So I can't underestimate the writing in this book, because you have such a great writer. So all that has that going for me in this book. So, but the story, right off the bat, I know I like the fact that Helena Wayne, I'm assuming is the like the new leader of the JSA or whatever. But I couldn't. My first glance, man, my first look, I swear she looks and she reminds me so much of Scarlet Witch. The costume, man. Yeah, that I can't get that out. Like, whenever I see this, I think of Scarlet Witch, man. I don't know if it's just me that thinks that or noticed that. I don't know. Let me know. But anyway, they're looking for Dr. Fate and all of that. And what's cool is this little panel right here. First of all, this caught my eye. This panel right here, where she's standing on top of this tower, but the way the city and the backdrop and everything is colored in and everything. I love that panel. It's pretty awesome. It would definitely be worth like getting printed on and putting on the wall somewhere. Anyway, I digress. But this right here, showing the old, I guess, original JSA, and then the new JSA. But yeah, you have Karen right here, who is irate because she's ready to find out who or where Dr. Fate is, and none of the other new members of the JSA seem to really care too much. So it's like they all seem to be they're not on the same page. This is introducing the new members, and then Helena, she's like, this is the new JSA, whether you like it or not. So yeah. So it goes on, and they find Dr. Fate, and he's all wrapped up, mummified for whatever reason, and it looked like he's been there for years. And Karen is just still mad because I guess nobody else seems to care as much. And then, now forgive me, because like I said, I'm not familiar with the characters, but he comes in, man, and basically takes out everybody for the most part. Man, it's just crazy. There you go. That's what I was looking for. I mean, he just goes one by one, takes them all out. So I don't know what this means for the second book or the second issue. If somehow they're going to be brought back and whatnot to continue. But basically, yeah, Catwoman. Yeah, she comes in, kind of saves the day, saves Helena, and yeah, it's a whole thing, man. I'm really going narrating this, but towards the end of the book, it shows trying to flip these pages here. It shows like these panels of different timelines from the JSA. So I thought that was pretty cool. And of course it has meaning because there's some time travel that seems to be involved with this. Because you know, right here it says 18 years from now, right here, this first panel, 1 year from now, the second one, and then back in 1916, this one, and then 1951, this last panel. So yeah, then you wake up with Helena looking like Scarlet Witch again. I'm assuming she's waking up in 1940. So, but I guess we'll find out, man. So, yeah, the story was intriguing to me. I gotta read that issue that came out, the one-shot issue that came out before this, the New Golden Age. Maybe that'll give me some more background on this and stuff. But the story was cool. It involved a murder mystery. It involved possibly a time travel type thing and all of that. So, I mean, yeah, what's not to love? So, Justice Society of America, JSA #1, my #3 book of the week. Now, coming in at #2, picking up immediately after issue #1 is The Approach #2. So, this book, like I said, it picks up immediately where book 1 or issue 1 left off. You know, at the end of issue 1, you had that monster, alien or whatever it is, kind of just jumped down in the room and it just started attacking and mauling that lady. And so yeah, page 1 of the book, I mean, it just picks off right there. But they come walking in and they catch it in action. So they're all freaked out, as you can see. And of course, but you know, Mac, who is the firefighter, big guy, man, he don't seem to have much of any fear. Because he comes up in there and he's just like with his flashlight stuff, man, and they're just kind of starting to go at it. And yeah, he runs towards this monster, and the monster, he throws the body. So anyway, just to kind of not prolong it so long, but the monster, he goes off, you know, trying to attack the people that run in, Mac and everybody. But this guy, he comes in and the sheriff, he comes in and he shoots the monster like a bunch of times. So then the monster runs off into like the vents or something, and you know, they're all left trying to like recover, like trying to make sense of what just happened. And in the process, Matt got his nose broke. Even in artwork, that looks like it hurts. But Mac, he's a trooper, man. He fights through it, takes a couple pills, and he's like, I'm good. So they're all trying to make sense of it. They gather everybody back into the main terminal where everybody is trying to stay warm and sheltered from that crazy winter storm outside. And yeah, so they find a trail of blood from that monster, trying to find out where it's at, I guess. And yeah, that thing is just doing some kind of, I mean, he's hurt. He's definitely hurt. So, and then the paramedic, she's walking around, and then she starts hearing this like chanting, and you can see it's like over and over, and it's just constant chanting, and she's fighting. And this old lady, she's just doing her thing. So there's no real revelation on what that's all about yet. But yeah, man, this I can see this being like a movie, like a legit movie, because that's how I feel. I feel like I'm reading a movie when I'm reading this, which is awesome. So yeah, so they're all gathered around right here, trying to game plan, figure out what's going on, what they need to do. And they're like, hey, we got weapons, we got a shotgun, and this, that, and the other. goes out, gets some supplies, runs outside real quick into the weather, into the snow, loads up, and yeah, they ain't playing around. They ain't playing around at all. They're ready to go find it. They're all armed up. And what's cool is they don't even know exactly what is going on. They know when that plane crashed, it brought back something with them. The plane that was missing for, what was it, 27 years, it came back and brought something with it. And this is where this monster came from. I don't know. I think they said it was the pilot that turned into this monster. So yeah. So I'm expecting in issue 3, maybe 4, whatever, as we go, we'll get answers or more explanation of what's going on, some more detail and whatnot. But so far through issue 2, the approach, man, this has been good. I'm enjoying it, and I swear it's just like, for me, it's just like reading a movie. I feel like I could watch this on TV. So yeah, the approach, number 2, is my number 2 book of the week. Now coming in at number 1 is a book that has really been surprising me. Really has been surprising me, because before issue 1 came out, I was like, yeah, I was on the fence. I was like, yeah, maybe I might get it. Then I finally decided to get it. All right, okay, I'll check it out. But man, I can't say enough great things about issue number 2 of Strange Academy Finals. Man, this book is fun, man. And this is a great example of why I like Skottie Young, because he can get serious, he can be fun, and have some comedy behind it, right? So the thing I like about this book, again, and it picks up fairly pretty much after the first issue. So Emily, at the end of the first issue, she creates this portal, and she's like, if you still believe in me, you want to follow me, follow me. If not, go back. Basically, in a nutshell. So this book starts when they call a meeting on Saturday, and you know it's the weekend, so there's no school, there's no nothing. It's their free time, and yeah. So they call a meeting, basically, to let them know, let the students that are already there, that these other students that decided to leave Emily are coming back. And he opens the portal, they all come walking through. And what's funny is there was no ill feelings towards these kids coming back. Between the 2 sets of students, they were all welcome back, and they were all excited to be back, and they were just all happy. They were just all happy to be back together. And so with that being said, they're all happy to be back together. So they're like, you know what? Because there's all of you are back, there's more hands. So they all are tasked and chored to clean up the academy, because it's been a mess. So you got like a couple of page turns right here where they're just doing nothing but cleaning everything. And it's kind of funny once you read the dialogue. There's some comedy involved in it. So yeah, I mean, they get I mean, they're doing a lot of cleaning, man. Cleaning the bathrooms and all kinds of stuff. But at the end of all the cleaning, the kids, they're all rewarded with a big like dinner, you know, big like cookout kind of thing. And this is where the story kind of changes a little bit, because if you remember Calvin, he's missing. For them, he's missing. They don't know where he's at. But remember, he's stuck in that machine. He was put in that machine, and he's kind of hidden, right? So, what's his name? This kid had mentioned that he had heard where he was at, and who knew where he was at, and so they kind of spill the beans. So now they know. Now they know where Calvin is. So they come and they formulate a plot, and yeah. First of all, they confront these kids who spilled the beans initially, and yeah. So then they formulate the plot to go save Calvin, right? And yeah, they go save him, and there's a little action and a little bit of drama unfolding in it. But the artwork, man, look at this artwork. There's Calvin. He's in one of these machines along with other kids too. Yeah, so they go ahead and they go into this big old battle kind of thing down there to save Calvin. And man, I'm in love with the artwork, first of all. Look at that. So they get Calvin out the machine, and it kind of ends with this big explosion. So you kind of really don't know what's happening. So that's where the issue ends. So Calvin seems to be saved, but this explosion with the rest of the Strange Academy kids right here, you don't really know what happened. Don't really know what happened yet. So, yeah, man, this is fun. This is a fun book. So, Strange Academy Finals, issue number 2. I can't wait for number 3. Can't go wrong, man. Skottie Young. To me, he's one of them guys. There's a lot of great writers and creators out there, artists, that are great. But to me, Skottie Young is one of the great ones that can't do wrong. So, boom. My number 1 book of the week, Strange Academy Finals, number 2. Well, that's my top 3 books of the week on a rather down kind of week. But hey, let me know what you thought of my top 3. What was your top 3? And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave my previous video right here and check that out. So with that being said, the books that you buy, read them. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Don't let it go to waste. And I will catch y'all on the flip side.